Hello everyone across the globe, galaxy, universe, whatever. We are back with another video. We are running Subterror. Not exactly guru control. It's more of a pure Subterror. I've got quite a few of the behemoths. It's more like an Earth Defender. I've got other Earth monsters in here. I've got Khan Great. I've got Statue, Earth Barrier. But anyway, let's hop into it. Here we go. We got Guru, and what we are searching. We're not special summoning yet, homie. We're going to search Cave Clash, and now we are good to go. The only card we're missing a couple cards. Are non-targeting with Terrors of the Hidden City, which is technically. Excuse me. Thank you. Which is technically not a Subterror card, which makes no sense. It's called Terrors of the Hidden City. It shows this card and the artwork, and it's got one of the claws of one of the behemoths ripping up through the ground. But it's not a Subterror card, and even this card, this isn't a Subterror card, even though it mentions Subterror specifically. This doesn't count as a Subterror card. So thus, this being on the field, Guru can't flip something with solely this on the field. This is one of the things that holds Subterror back. But anyway, that's another video. And also, right now we don't have Terrors of the Hidden City in our hand. And we don't have, I just looked at it. We don't have Subterror Succession in our hand. This is actually a pretty good card. If you're running flip monsters at all, you can use this to search out other monsters as long as they have the same attribute as what you're looking for or what you discard. So activate one of these effects. Also after that, set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. Send one monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard, and if you do, add one flip monster from your deck to the hand with the same attribute, and vice versa. So anyway, let's get into it without further ado. Let's see what this guy's playing. And right off the rip, we make a boneheaded play and not take this out. We should have taken this out. This card has got to be taken out. And instead of hitting Shared Ride, I made a boneheaded play and hit Max C. But I haven't really faced this deck, especially in this XYZ event. So now we're flipping Guru. And we're putting Guru back up. And this, we actually use Phoenix on this card. This other card is actually their bread and butter. They need this. Without this, the deck is nothing. They have to have that card in order to really be impactful. This is what makes them be able to, people take damage. Without that, so this card, special summoning, and he can either add to the hand or special summon. I don't like when they give the cards the options and they don't show you what they chose. If this card is special summon, you can add to your hand or set one spell trap that mentions Yubel. Which one are they doing? They don't actually do it until after the effect is gone through. And he chose the other card again. So he's right back to square one. Now, if we had taken the other one out, that wouldn't have been an issue because we could have slammed it to him, got Fiendus back, and I could have kept them up. Anyway, now he's doing his thing. I know everybody's been talking about this deck. Everybody's been running this deck and everything in the other modes or whatever. In the XYZ event, they are actually limited. And Subterror is actually pretty strong, even though I run it regardless, different variations of it. But Subterror is actually really strong in this because the XZ summons, as we know, unless explicitly stated, cannot do anything, cannot be brought out to the field if they're face down. You can't XE summon. The only people who can do something with things like that are tribute summons, fusion summons, who else? Ritual summons. They can get away with all that. But other than that, look at this. He's just going crazy. So now I'm flipping. If you're running Subterror, this is the card you want to use. Okay? This is the card that you definitely want to have, because this card will take care of Makonko. This card will take care of a lot of different things because it's non-targeting flipping. If something can be affected by monster effects, this card will take good care of them. It's going to flip them face down. Now, it's kind of like a Karma Cannon, although Karma Cannon is sending anything that's unaffected, with the exception of something that's unaffected by traps, that specifically mentions that it's not affected by traps. So if something is unaffected by card effects, then it's going in the grave. But if something isn't affected by traps specifically, then they won't be touched at all. I've used it on the two-headed Blue Eyes monster, and it did nothing to them. I've used it on Trap Tricks, the Xyz monster or Link monster, whichever one, and it did nothing. But anyway, let's keep going. We got a long road ahead of us. I was going to send a monster, but I have to attack Yubel as per the requirement. I tried flipping quickly, and it still channeled the damage. But now we've got our boy on the field. We tribute summon to get him on the field. We pop the Maxi. Here we go. He's building up his life points. We're flipping Yubel. And he flipped everybody back up. And now, this is where things get crazy. There is no attacking anymore. He won't see any more attacks. He's not attacking me anymore. Okay? Until otherwise stated, this card will protect me. These two cards. Even this one. Because once I flip a monster face up and negate his effects, there is no attack. One of these has something on it where I think if it even declares an attack, it does damage. When monster's special summon, I could have sworn somebody had something that even if they declare an attack, it causes damage. Before damage calculation, if this face-up attack position target is targeted for an attack, okay, inflict damage to your opponent, okay, so maybe that's not it, but we're not even going to give them a chance. So let's go. For all those who are having trouble with this, and you happen to run something like Subterror, this will deal with Makonko. This will deal with anything that needs to attack and anything that can be affected by monster effects. So if somebody is running something like, what's it called? Time Lords, he will take care of them. Thing is, if they're running Time Lords, they're probably going to have a bunch of lava golems and a bunch of kaijus and whatever. It's just, it ruins everything, man. That's not enough. To me, that's not a real way of actually playing the game. But anyway, let's go. We're going to fast forward. We got a long way to go. Here we go. So I put up another search out a monster, flipping face down, putting him on the field. That way I can steal a monster if I need to. Got Fiendish back. Grabbing back our Archer. We're sending a card back to the deck. Not that it matters because he could just keep bringing them out, but whatever. You keep bringing them in, we'll keep shipping them out. And he's constantly bringing up his life points. Destroyed one, draw one. Here we go. We're moving quick. And he tried to pull a stunt. He tried to actually pull a stunt. He went straight into the battle phase. If I had have known that he was going, he went straight to the end phase. Had I known he was going to the end phase, I would have flipped him beforehand. I didn't realize he was going to the end phase. But anyway, going to the end phase. And we got Fiendish there to prevent it. There we go. So let me just check, because I think we have all three Fiendishes in the grave. All three Fiendishes are in the grave. The only way we can get Fiendish back is if we draw this one card we have. I think it's a jar card. Shuffle 5 cards from the deck, from the graveyard back into the deck, draw 1. If we can pull that off, then we can get Fiendish back. Or if we can somehow do damage to him with Cave Clash, then we can get Fiendish back. There we go. We draw another. We passed on our turn. Everybody's face down. He's going to destroy another one. Here we go. Flipping one. He destroyed one. Put one in hand. You see what's happening. So he basically did the same thing. The same thing that I do with Subterror Succession. By drawing a card that I need, he drew a Spellcaster card with Sangan. Drew a Spellcaster card. Anyway, here we go. He put that back on the deck, destroying him. So now, even if I were to pull something like Unending Nightmare, I can't even use it. Usually I get Unending Nightmare in my first couple hands or whatever. Unending Nightmare would have put an end to this. But without it, it is an Unending Nightmare. So I went to go flip everybody over, and the first thing he did was went to use his Infinite Impermanence, but good thing we had the foresight of picking up another Final Battle. So now we can stop our monster from being negated. And everybody's flipped. We got Congrate, and we can't even use them right now. We don't have an empty space. If we had the empty space, we could have got Congrate on the field, and the very next turn, cards would have started getting popped. But we're waiting. We're biding our time. 2 cards out, made space. Okay. Here we go. He's drawing his stuff. We're flipping him face down because we're not letting him destroy anything. This is a doozy, y'all. This is a crazy one. And made even crazier is that I didn't do my XC's extra deck. Now, maybe if I would have did my extra deck, I could have started getting rid of stuff and attacked at least one time with something and then get a Zeus on the field and wipe them out. But, so now we got to suffer. But, if you can't do it with the regular cards, how are you going to do it with the extra deck? There we go. Still fast forwarding, and now we're sending cards back. Flip back face down. We got Subterror Succession. Now, we're going to start drawing cards because we're running low. He's got a 60-card deck, 41 cards left, and we're running, I think, 45 in this. We got 24 cards left, so we've got to find our Feather Duster. So here we go. We got a lot of stuff down. We got flipping power. We got to find our Feather Duster. We've got Lord in hand. We got protection. We're face down destruction protection. Everybody's flipped. We're making room. Guru's back. And we can turn an opponent's target, turn an opponent's attack to 0. Now, here's the, well, we'll see. Tears of Overroot is another good card. But watch what happens. Oh, also, we get Barrier Statue. So this is pretty good. All right. Okay. So we're giving him that back because that's useless. It doesn't matter. Okay. So going, he was able to get another one of that card. After I got rid of it last time, they're getting flipped. He pulls out a Nibiru, which was terrible on his part. So he's got 140,000, right? These cards here are strengthening us because anything that gets crashed into, that we crash into, is taking heavy damage. But he put this out and is going to attack. Guru flipping Yubel. So look at my attack. 7,000 plus I can send him to attack whomever I want. He went to attack this card, but I'm directing him to this card. Plus, I'm flipping the card face up, which is going to allow me to get my Subterror Behemoth Stalagmo to draw 2 cards, hopefully a Feather Duster. And then after he takes, what's that, 2,800 damage, we'll be able to get a Fiendish back. And also, we'll be able to attack him directly. Attack him the next turn and do even more damage. So 4,000 damage. So altogether, 6,800 damage. That's if this didn't happen. Yes. Time limit. Out of all the things that could happen, a time limit happens. And I question, how is it that people special summon for 10 minutes and never ever have a time limit loss? But I get a time limit loss playing Subterror. It's taking off time just asking me, it'll take off like 2 to 3 seconds just asking me if it wants to activate an effect. Now I know some people say, well, just take toggle off and all this. Yeah, and then you mess around and miss something. And then you got another problem, a whole other issue. But anyway, this was a great match. If that time limit doesn't happen, he loses this next round. Because once I get Feather Duster, I'm going to wipe these cards out, his back row, and then I'm going to destroy every single one of those cards that's up there with a Barrier Stature out, which means he can no longer special summon. And once he can no longer special summon after I've eliminated his entire board, what that means is anybody who jumps out on the field is getting flipped face down right off the rip by Guru. Game over. But anyway, time limit loss. Great match. See you next time.